Brodes Media.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Brodes. When Wednesday evening came around, and it was right around maybe 3 o'clock, late afternoon, I should say, it hit me out of nowhere. What? And I know I'm not the only one, but I was stunned just because there was no indication that that was going to happen. And my first thought was, please, do not be correlated with the TRICEP. And for a few minutes, when it was first reported, Adam Schefter just said Nolan Smith hitting the IR. There was nothing attached to the reason. So I'm scrolling and I'm refreshing and I'm praying, please, no, TRICEP. It's the TRICEP. Now, I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm not telling you what is actually true. But when I reflect back to Brandon Graham, who got injured against the Rams in the regular season, battled his ass off in case the Birds went all the way, he could potentially have a chance to get back. He was there for the Super Bowl, but what happened the second he returned from the TRICEP? The TRICEP happened again. I am a little worried just because I never truly believe any injury updates, no matter what the sport, no matter what the organization. I hope they're not buying time, trying to get more info, trying to assess and get more information, and they put him on the IR. So there's weeks of pretty much it being predetermined he won't be available. And they give us the bye week as that comfort zone timeline as they wait to see exactly what's happening. And maybe I'm way off base here, and it's as simple as it's sore. Because let's be honest, you tear it during the Super Bowl, you get surgery, you already have a shortened offseason. Before you know it, your hand's in the dirt and you're 3 weeks in when everybody's firing their best. Now, when you got the target on your back, you're the champion, you're the gold standard, you're the top dog. Everyone wants a piece of you and they want to shove your ass in the dirt. So 3 weeks in, maybe it's as simple as, man, this TRICEP is just not ready yet, and he's got to do his arm circles, and it's sore more than anything else, and it's not so much the extreme. I gave you the extreme, and of course, whenever somebody gets injured, that's always the panic is, please don't be the extreme. I don't know. Because Nolan Smith is important. It's not just about a sack total number. How about snap eating, right? And they have a lot of guys. Don't get me wrong. There's guys like Ojulari, who was a respected veteran in this league, who's not even capable of being dressed. There's actually 2 of those guys that have been around the block that are inactive constantly. So there's a nice couple of names to maybe ask to buy you time. But there's no real pop significance within these names. And that includes even Jalix Hunt. I like Jalix Hunt, but he's project-y. As much as I say Josh Sweat sometimes, I don't want to use the word overrated, but I think he was a good starter. I don't think he's an elite stud. I don't think he's a game-wrecking force. Even though he's had moments, I think he's a good starter. But man, would even that feel like a ton of value right now and big time significant right now at Josh Sweat. And I think he's just a good NFL starter. Maybe an above average NFL starter. But he's no Myles Garrett, okay? He's no BG. He's not that. He's good. But I would take that in a heartbeat right now. Zadarius Smith, I need you, bro. You popped off early on, and I went, wow. Hopefully it's not just because he's fresh, because he wasn't worn down in training camp the way maybe some other guys were. You know, now that you got a couple games under your belt, maybe you can keep that soaring. But we need him. We need Uche. We need the Patrick Johnsons of the world. You know what else we need? We need Vic Fangio to get creative with the usage of someone like Jahad Campbell. Because the reason why Jahad Campbell was very intriguing to you in the organization at the time of the draft is the versatility. He's athletic as hell. He could play linebacker, but you could also ask him to rush. Can you use Makuba in an intriguing way? And maybe use the secondary as a way to apply some pressure if you're not getting home enough. And there's two things to look at here. The long-term projection until the bye week, and the short-term, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are dealing with a billion offensive line issues. Now, they may be getting Wirfs back. They're also dealing with Mike Evans not being available. So there's a lot of guys injured. There's no excuses. Not that anybody's making any, but there's no excuses. You just won a game without Lane Johnson. And who stepped up? Fucking Fred Johnson did. Jared Verse probably had nightmares because think about it. Put yourself in the body of Jared Verse. 1 second, you're looking at Fred Johnson. The next second, you're face planted into the ground and you got grass stuck all in your face mask and you got to get your teammate to come with his glove and start picking it out because Fred Johnson was obliterating you. Who's going to be the Fred Johnson? Is it the collective group? It very well could be. Absolutely. And that's fine, right? It doesn't have to just be one guy. Maybe everyone gives an extra 3%, including the interior. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. There's not much more you can ask Jordan Davis to do. My guy's running 18 miles per hour, scooping, scoring on block field goals, right? So I don't know how much more. Chasing Matthew Stafford down and having big third down stops and fourth down stops. And the guy's been out of this world. But if he gives us even an extra 2% and Jalen Carter gets in more shape that appeases Vic Fangio and he even takes a step, and then it makes it a lot easier for all those other names that I mentioned on the outside as, outside pass rushers. But that's what you have to do. Or maybe Zadarius Smith just gives you 3 sacks on Sunday. Or Jalen Sunk gives you 2.5 sacks on Sunday. And someone just absolutely has a monster performance. And it's their day. And that's a week where you survive in advance until Nolan Smith returns. And remember, Nolan Smith, it took him a bit to get going. And when he did and hit his full stride, he was clearly so huge and monstrous for you, especially in against Green Bay in the wild card in the playoff game. Wow. So if anyone has maybe poo-pooed this like it's not a big deal because Nolan Smith on paper with a certain amount of sacks, well, no. He's someone who needs to get his groove. And hopefully this doesn't limit what his groove is whenever he does return. But the fact that it's a tricep, I can't overstate the fact that this is concerning. Not that injury. Not after surgically being repaired. And I could imagine a world where it's not the worst case scenario when it's just tired. It's just weak. It's maybe throbbing and he needs to reset. I don't think that's insane. I don't think that's crazy. I mean, seriously, you do have a shortened offseason. You went as far as you possibly can go. You get the surgery done. You blink your eye and you're at OTAs, you're in training camp, and Nick Sirianni's screaming at you to get your feet moving, get your ass going, and get back out there on the field. It's a super quick turnaround. And I just watched Brandon Graham go through something where he came back as quickly as he can, and before you know it, there was an issue again. So I don't know to what level. I know.